The man sitting to my left has been nice enough to take us through a day in the life for the Sarge, and we've had the early morning, we've had the workouts, we've had the talking to the owner.
Right.
Now I think we're coming up on the Blue Plate Special. I think we've teased it, but let's. What is your top selection for the Blue Plate Special? I threw out turkey and gravy. But what are you feeling? If you had to go to, if it's your day and you're getting what you want on the Blue Plate Special, what are they coming with?
Day in the life of a trainer, and keep in mind I haven't trained since 2007.
Okay.
But these are memories that will forever be ingrained in my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
People always ask me, hey, would you ever come back? You know, I play Super Lotto, I play the Mega Million, I play the Powerball every week. Mike Joyce, he is convinced that I'll never hit that. He goes, impossible. He said he'd give me $1,000 if I ever hit it. I actually cashed in a ticket a couple of weeks ago for like $8. I should have cashed in on my $1,000 bet. But no, as far as the Blue Plate Special, it's pretty simple. I mean, turkey sandwich, turkey gravy. I try not to eat heavy things at night.
It's a good point.
It's a difficult thing because I'm a big guy. So I like dinner. But the reality is you try to get as much as you can early in the day and then taper as the day rolls on. But the key is hydration. I talked to you about that. So for me, as I've gotten older, made that decision to go to work as a racing manager, leaving out in 2007, the element that wasn't involved at that point in time, I didn't have a child. So now you have trainers that have children. We talked about here on the left coast, you've got, say, for example, Pete Miller, who has two children, and it's all about balance.
Yeah.
You know, if you're Jerry Hollendorfer, he is all about being at the barn at 3:30 in the morning.
Now for the trainers like, let's say, Chuck Treese, who trains out of Los Al, he's got to be ready to roll in a business form at night. So now we're kind of leaning towards the latter half of the evening. Entertain owners.
Yeah, more green tea, right?
Yeah.
Need more green tea, back to the track. Essentially, what I do is, check in with the vet. You know, the horse gets Lasix in 4 hours, maybe be there at that point in time because of the trainer responsibility rule. Make sure they're treating the right horse and checking in, making sure the help's in line. And that's the other aspect of this because you pay your help hourly. You may have a couple on salary, but you've got time cards that are involved, especially when OSHA decides they want to kind of get into the mix. Hey, we need to see your time cards. We need to talk to your help. Are they happy? And again, it's all about balance. And then, of course, you work your way on over to the track. You entertain the owners. Check in with Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so. Hey, our horse is doing well. If they're not there, maybe meet up with any potential clients you may have. So there's a lot happening here because you're promoting, you're a caretaker, you're responsible for a payroll, you're responsible for workman's comp, you're responsible to your family. There's a ton of responsibility, and the onus is on you. It's your man that's hanging up on that, your name that's hanging up on that shingle. So,
one of the interesting things I thought you said earlier was the fact that you don't like the fact that a trainer can win a race and immediately be on the phone afterwards. And I'm going to try to make a comparison. If you're a big sports fan and your team's playing, I've always thought it was interesting when during the game, people are on Twitter. That was a bad call. I don't know how the refs are going to do that, or we're botching the game based on play calls, or you have some type of commentary for the game. And my whole take is you got all week to be on Twitter or social media or make the call. So while the game is going, shut it down and enjoy the game. Same thing with the race. I mean, you put in all that time. When the horse is walking back to the winner's circle, that's what you put all the time in for.
I agree. And I think the only difference is, like, if you're at a sporting event, like I would be in South Bend, Indiana for a Notre Dame game, I'm going to take some selfies of myself, my best buddy Nick, my cousin Levio, and my brother, because I want to celebrate. I want people to know that I'm there and part of it. But during the game, I think it's pointless to be reaching down to your phone and tweeting it out. Oh, that was a bad call. I agree in that regard. But as it pertains to the sport of thoroughbred horse racing and how it's evolved, Caleb, the issues that you have now are telecommunications. But you might find it interesting that there are a number of trainers out there. I don't want to necessarily say they're in the dark ages, but they put themselves there as to say, I don't do email. If you want to send me something, don't text me a message. Call me. Send me a fax. But outside of that, and that maybe is the way it needs to be, because you hate to be too accessible, and there is such thing as being so accessible. Yeah. Although, say for example, here at TVG, somebody calls in sick, who's the first guy they call?
I missed the selfie at the Notre Dame game as well, and it was you, Nick Hines, with your buddy Nick. That's a double Nick selfie.
Nicks. Yeah, Nick's. Good times, But the difficulty of night racing is the entire day. Mr. Lucky came out to the barn a number of times in the morning and kind of helped me out, hot walking a few horses, and we worked together at the Days Racing Digest back in the day. It was kind of interesting to speak to Hall of Fame rider Gary Stevens as he came to work here at TVG. And I was still training at that point in time. This is just as Simon Bray stepped into a full-time gig here. Gary would always ask me, how do you do it? How do you do it? Doing the TV and doing the horse racing thing. But the reality is I loved getting up early. I always felt that I was beating the world to the punch.
Yeah.
Although there were days when I might have been a few minutes late to the barn, my routine was completely off kilter. So it's about routine, repetition, trying to perfect yourself. But the key is having a plan. And I think a lot of times with trainers, I think they lose sight. What is their plan?
Yeah.
They don't have one.
You got, like you said, you got to be the morning glory type.
Got to be, up and at 'em, soldier. Let's go, go, go.